Shalom Aleichem again to all our listeners for our weekly few minutes of Chizuk on the Parsha. This week's video is sponsored for the speedy recovery of Binyamin ben Daniela Margalit. And of course we want to thank all of our partners of Kollel Yerushalayim that help spread the Torah and hold up the Torah. So we're holding over here in Parshas Yisro, we have so much to learn from. We know that Yisro himself, he had heard what occurred with Klal Yisrael and made many changes in his life. We understand that the idea of learning from other people is a very big topic and very important topic for every Yid. The Mishnah in Pirkei Avos, it says in Perek Daled, Ezu hachacham halugin mikol adam. Who is a wise person? Someone who learns from every person, from everything, from every person and everything. That's a wise person. We know that the source of this Mishnah comes from the famous pasuk in Tehillim in Perek Tzadik Tes. Over there in Kapitel Tzadik Tes it says, Mikol malamdai hiskalti. From all my teachers, that's when I became wise. What I learned from my teachers, that's how I became wise. How important is it to learn from people, from all types of people, just as the Mishnah says, just as we see in the pasuk in Tehillim. The Alter from Kelm, he used to go and tell his Talmidim in the yeshiva of Kelm, he would say that this idea of learning from other people is one of the most important ideas in all of Yiddishkeit. The more you learn from people, the wiser you'll become. But he explains to them like this, that you know that when a person is involved in a certain thing, he focuses and he shares interest only in that specific thing. So he would say somebody who's involved in tailoring or selling hats or selling clothing or a shoemaker, he would focus only on these specific things. Shoes, clothing, hats, tailoring, that's what interests him. So whenever he would see somebody who was involved in that trade, so that would interest him. That's what he would try to pick up tips, pick up things to learn from. But he told his Talmidim, you have to remember that the idea of becoming a chacham by learning from other people doesn't just come from doing things or picking up things that come from other people that are involved in the same exact thing that you're involved in. It says, Adarabah, when you go and you see things that people are doing that are not exactly like you, that's exactly where the limud is. To realize that from every single person I can learn something, no matter how small, no matter how big, but I can learn something from every person, and then I get to value every person because I realize that every single Yid has something to share with me. Every single Yid can share with me something which is so important for me to learn and pick up from. Rav Shlomo Wolbe, the author of the Ali Shur, he also writes in the Sefer, in the first Chelek, how important it is to take upon every day, to take upon yourself a limud, something which I can learn from every person. He says that every day we go through our day meeting all types of people. Some people go on the bus in the morning, some people teach little children, some people meet great gedolim, some people meet all types of businessmen and all types of janitors and anyone that has something that can share with you something which could be wise and something which could be a toeles, a constructive thing that a person can go and learn how to go and make himself better. When one does this, explains the Volbi and explains all the gedolis, Yisrael and Balei Musar, everybody, Kipeach says the same idea, that if you would appreciate that you can learn something from every single person, no matter what it is, anything that can help you in your avodas Hashem, of course everyone will start to love every single person because he realizes that I have so much to gain from every Jew. Every Yid has so much to teach, every Yid has so much to give over, and the whole idea of Shalom, the whole idea of peace, Shalom Bayis, Shalom Bein Adam L'Chaveroi, all these things would be strengthened and they would come about so much stronger when we realize that every single person has so many milas and I have so much that I can learn from every person. So b'siyata d'shmaya, we should be zoiche to be mekayim what it says in the Mishnah, that Ezu HaChacham, who is wise, somebody who learns from everybody. But what type of person? Not just the person who's involved in the things that I like, but even people who are involved in things that I am not exactly interested in, but I still can learn from them also wonderful things. We should all have a tremendous amount of siyata d'shmaya, a lot of chizuk should continue throughout the whole week, and have a gewaldige Shabbos, a wonderful Shabbos to all our listeners. Thank you for listening. Take care.